Alright. Welcome back to the Florencio Files. And of course, today's a big celebration. It's episode 300. And we will be following Florencio as he brings his tadpole to work. That's right, guys. It's Bring Your Tadpole to Work Day. Bring in a little one of your offspring and try to teach it. Give it a bit of work experience. Show it what daddy's job is all about. That's right, Florencio in the top right. Some guy called Pig as well on his team in 2v2s. 2 Protoss players for them. They're going up against Teal Slow Hands in the bottom left, and Purple Colossal is double Zerg against double Protoss. And of course, we will be following the Master, the Sewer Mermaid's probe across the map. Now, for those who've been here since the very start, today is going to be a little bit of a trip down memory lane, a little bit of nostalgia thrown into the fresh environment of 2025 2v2 ladder, as we hopped on for a whole bunch of games and Florencio tried to teach me the tricks of the trade and go back to the classic original strategies of the Florencio Files and show me how it's done. Now, of course, I am but a humble sewer pig, one who is pretty much a complete frigging noob, and as a result, excuse my humble imitation of Florencio and his absolutely foul madness. Now, of course, some of the things we would be looking for if we're thinking of classic Florencio, we're thinking of opening with cannon rushes, we're thinking of trying to recall wherever possible, and of course, Florencio's absolute hunger. I mean, it's not even a hunger, is it, right? I mean, we've all that one friend who gets a little bit addicted to something and, you know, they're kind of fiending for it, or that one uncle who always ruins Christmas by going to the bathroom and shooting up heroin. Let's just say when it comes to his hunger for recall, Florencio's hunger, it's not just a desire, it's a need. He's a straight up junkie, let's be real. That man needs to inject more and more recall than most people ever do. Now, opponents know Overlord of the Natural. Apparently, I'm allergic to that. For those who weren't watching the screen, I did just have to mute my mic to do a giant sneeze. They didn't see the cannons coming up at all. Oh, these are not our first games on ladder, guys. This is after about 10, 12 games when we started playing these ones that we're casting today. So we weren't at the very beginnings of the ladder. We also weren't at the very top as we lost quite a few games getting here. Because number one, I suck at playing like Flo. Number two, you guys have seen how Flo plays StarCraft. Some of the games are so dumb. You're always capable of letting any lead slip away when you're playing a Florencio strategy. It's actually fantastic. But these guys made a huge blunder, you know, leaving their second overlords out here and here, rather than sending one over the natural, which is like 101 of ZVP. But maybe just not running into as many cannon rushes in 2v2s. Queen's going to come out here. She's going to try and run away. That Overlord needs to go straight north. Oh, Florencio putting out the 2 cannons, getting way too many hits, and that Overlord just barely goes down. And that's a big win. Now, of course, guys, Master Florencio talks to the tadpole, talks to the apprentice, and he says, you know what happens? First we build base, and then we defense it. And I'm like, isn't that a White Ra quote? And I went to build my natural over here, and he said, why the fuck are you taking the corner base? And I kind of went, huh? And he went, and he looked at me, and I was like, oh, so I remembered we are in the sewers right now, guys. When you're in the sewers, this is your natural expansion. Here for him, here for me. These are crappy, indefensible, sneaky corner bases, okay? Remember, that there is, if you guys have ever watched Stranger Things, essentially, if you play games with Florencio, you are entering the Upside Down. It's kind of like a reflection of reality, but a rather murky one. It's not exactly like to like, and there are a lot of foul demonic forces just kind of casually hanging around, looking for souls to devour. So anyways, Flo's going to build the backup cannon in his main base, which is a good idea, and he goes for the first inject on the probes. Now, of course, like any good uncle, he wants to share his love and passion with his nephew, and he says, so buddy, you ever try a little bit of this recall? And I'm like, oh, okay, Uncle Flo, oh, that felt good. Oh, shit, that felt real good. Of course, I'm so stunned by it. It takes me a while to send the probes to work, but yeah, recalling those probes to the corner did feel pretty damn fantastic. Unfortunately, my wall off at the front, I went a bit extracurricular here. Flo just wanted to cancel the hatchery. I tried to go for more. I've tried to build a Stargate out front. Flo shaking his head. He said, no, you don't want to kill them with the cannon rush. You just want to mess them up so you can slowly wound them, channel them down certain paths of the game, and then hard counter the next step. What the fuck are you doing, Nephew Pig? And I'm like, I'm sorry, Uncle Flo. I do manage to get a Void Ray out here, though, but I had to repower the Stargate, build a lot of pylons. Meanwhile, to neither of our knowledge, there is a Nidus Sword popping up in the main base. and we are caught completely with our pants down. I started to panic at this point. I turned over to Flo and I said, what do we, well, Uncle Florencio, what do we do? And he was like, the plan's working exactly as intended. My Void Ray tries to kill a Spike Roller. It's running away. His probes are out there. They're running away as well. I sense from Flo's confidence, we're meant to just vibe with it. We're meant to roll with the punches. He's like, this is apparently exactly what your base is meant to look like at 5 minutes as part of the plan. You color me befuddled. I'm not used to expecting to lose both of our main bases 5 minutes into the game, but I lean into it. I go in. I go, okay, I'll kill a drone. I'll force your queens to pop out and fly around, and I'll build a new Stargate in the corner. Because keep in mind, Florencio has taught us many times about you don't just build one Void Ray, guys. You always build two. Why? Because then it becomes an alpha. One Chad on his own has no one to high five, no one to chest thump, no one to slap on the ass in where they go way too deep on the. You know when the hand goes on the inside of the cheek? You guys ever have a bro like slap your ass like a real? He's like, hey buddy. But his hand goes on the inside of their cheek, and you're just kind of like, ooh, too deep, you know? I mean, or maybe you guys are both into that. It's a bit of a different thing. But, you know, essentially, one on its own, you can't do that. You can't slap yourself in the ass cheek. That's just scratching your butt crack. That's not a thing. So you do need to create the alpha. You need at least 2 Void Rays. Of course, if we go back to the classics of the Florencio files, there are a few things we look for. You want to use their ability, prismatic alignment, because it's all about Void Rays pissing on things. Remember, Florencio, he wants to torture his opponents, he wants to insult them, and I do manage to bait another queen into the cannons. This Void Ray's doing a pretty good job, this Chad Ray. And finally, the alpha is complete. 2 Chads together. And remember, you want to use prismatic alignment, gives bonus damage only to armored units, so you want to use it against non-armored units. That's part of how Florencio asserts dominance. Unfortunately, we're not using it here. We missed it. That was a prime opportunity. I think it's because Flo didn't call for it because there were roaches nearby and we would actually get bonus damage versus roaches. But we were meant to use, if you guys remember the very early episodes, he would only use it against drones, queens, and light units. Oh no, we're turning it on at the wrong time. Heresy! No! Okay, huge misplay from Florencio and Pig there, guys. I do apologize for that, but we get a hatchery kill, no cancel, which is pretty nice. And we are continuing to build Chad Rays, which are coming down and trying to pick off these big old floaty balls over here. So I do feel like if you're shooting down overlords with your Void Ray, it's a little bit like pissing on your opponent's nuts. That sounds like a weird thing, but is there anything more embarrassing than someone else urinating on you? Probably a lot of things. Anyways, looks like we both sent our probes back. Did we recall them? Oh no, we recalled our probes back in while the Nidus Worm was still in the base. We didn't clear it up and we recalled probes back. You could not be any stupider. Of course, as always, Florencio style, it's hard for me to fathom, guys, but Florencio says that's part of the plan. We wanted to lure those roaches into our base. Duh. I'm there befuddled, not quite understanding why we would possibly do that, especially since we let the roaches escape. But our main bases have been abandoned once again, and we're both going to expand to the natural 3rd base, which of course is in a very safe location. Oh no, that Void Ray does go down. Another Chad does fall. Now at this point, our opponents are going Hydras, +1 range, and Infestation. Hydra Infest is pretty good against Void Rays, but they're both stuck on one base. Because we have been getting bits of mining from our main, even though it keeps getting denied, and we are resaturating right now, as you can see. We are getting a little bit more overall money. The problem is all we have is Void Rays. We've got 11 Chads. At this point, this is a fraternity of Chads, and there's a point where there are too many Chads, you know? There's a point where it gets weird. Like, let's be real, guys. The number of fucking Chads you get together is like, oh yeah, it's fucking cool, man. And they're all at a party and drinking beers, slapping each other's asses. I mean, it's only a number of beers until you get in the hot tub like Randy in that episode of South Park. And yeah, things get odd. Anyway, Spore Crawler does go down. Void Rays are going to go absolutely am. But at the same time, another Nidus Worm pops in the main. And we are going to be trading damage. But those Overlords, oh my lord. The prismatic alignment didn't help against the drones, but it does actually do bonus damage to the Overlords. This is far too many Void Rays on the dance floor. The Hydra Queen will come forward. If the Fungals can land, where are the Infestors? I'm not sure where the Infestors are, guys. I think maybe they didn't pop or something. Where oh, he didn't build them yet. It was only the Infestation bit. There's no Infestors. Oh, and the Void Rays are able to escape, dude. If there was like a few Infestors popped out there and Fungals landed, we would have been screwed, but they weren't able to. Meanwhile, Florencio... Oh, dude. Sorry, instant rewind. How many did this guy kill? How long? Florencio, as always. Remember, he says, sometimes you've got to give your opponent hope. Right as their main base is getting ravaged by Void Rays, Florencio purposely ignores. I was like, Flo, your corner, your natural base, your natural base. And he was like, shut the fuck up, pig. Shut the fuck up, nephew pig. I'm giving them hope. And I was like, what? He lets the Ling kill 6 probes, lets another Ling come in. He does decide to actually kill that one. Because remember, guys, if we've watched Florencio over the years, there's one thing he's a master of. It's drip-feeding hope into his opponents so that they think there's still a chance, and that maximizes their sense of hopelessness and pain. Remember, if someone goes into a game not expecting to win, you can't really inflict a lot of pain upon them, a lot of hopelessness. But we lure them over, and now comes the pain as all those roaches and ravagers get caught. He gets them with the Chadray sandwich. They turned on their prismatic alignment, which did not help against the ravagers at all, by the way. That's the classic Flo way of doing it. I come in for the finish and kill that one Ravager, forgetting, of course, Florencio's philosophy of damaging units and not finishing them off. Remember, they say that sometimes injuring a soldier on the battlefield is worth more than killing one, because then 2 soldiers have to carry him back to get medical assistance. You drain more of your opponent's resources in a total war situation by causing injuries rather than fatalities. Just overall casualty numbers is actually often considered more important, and that's something Florencio has applied, because as we know from the early days of the Flo Files, guys, he has transliterated that into let's cause maximum damage possible by let them live for a bit longer so I can do more damage later. But at this point, Nephew Pig is in here to back him up. I said, mate, he's countering you with Spore Crawlers. I know they're building Infestors. Immortals counter both of those. Let's go, son. Elevating 6 Immortals with 2 War Prisms to the high ground. The Chadrays dive in. They don't turn on their Prismatic Alignment for God knows why. I think we've forgotten how Prismatic Alignment's supposed to work. But the Immortals, oh, the Immortals going after the Infestors. The Infestors have already used up all their Fungals. There's just not enough Queens. Those Immortals on the ground, way too tanky. Yes, there are units in our base yet again. Ling's in there. Florencio's retaking his main whilst never clearing the creep up with cannons. And the Immortals and the Void Rays run rampant. And I feel like I effectively helped Florencio, but at the same time, he looks at me a little disappointed. He said, you did okay, but you failed a lot of tests. This was not true Florencio style. He shakes his head. He says, don't worry. Next game, you'll do better, Nephew Pig. All right, guys. We've got Eros, Rage, and JMO in the bottom left for our next game. Florencio in the top right, me as well. It's actually the same map as the last one, Arctic Flowers, this one. I didn't even realize it was, but apparently it is. And we are going to be seeing this time it's a Terran Protoss combo up against us without double Protoss foulery, which is, of course, going to make things interesting. Now, I'm going to try and wall off the low ground this time around. And, of course, we want to try and live up to Uncle Flo's message as much as possible. Flo already turning to me and saying early in this game, look, Nephew Pig, there was a few too many Chadrays. That was number 1, fucking lame, building just 1 unit. But number 2, it got a bit jockey. There was too many highs being 5'd. There was too many asses being clapped. Or slapped, I should say. Well, I mean, maybe a bit of both, right? What can I say? And more of that. Oh, JMO spotted 2 workers coming out. He's like, dude, there's 2 probes and a forge, mate. 2 probes and a forge. 2 probes and a forge. 2 probes and a forge. They're shouting excitedly and, of course, stressed out right now because they know there is a double cannon rush incoming. These guys actually scouting. You can already see the difficulty of these games queuing up as I go for an amazing wall off. Can I get it? Okay, this probe's not even moving around. He's giving me all the time in the world. I need another pylon to fully cage this. I am going to be able to surround this area. Florencio, though, goes straight past the wall in for the high ground. He's like, Nephew Pig, why are you walling in the low ground? You can just go for the main, you dum-dum. Oh, he sees a hole, and he holds a goal for Florencio. He sees a hole. He's like, oh, what? I'm not building that. Meanwhile, I'm down here building walls of pylons and cannons and gateways. I'm doing what could only be described as a try-hard virgin cannon rush. Meanwhile, Florencio's out here just fucking chatting it up. Look at this shit. Look at this. He's like, why, Nephew Pig? Why build a wall off when your opponent can build it for you? He gets a cannon right in the dirtiest spot possible. The probes can't get to it. He's building more pylons, more cannons. His probes go and walk about. It does get caught, finally. But there are 2 cannons coming up. That one on the right, only getting hit by 2 probes and a Marine. And that's... Okay, is that Marine enough? The Marine might be enough. Oh, they're going to build a defensive cannon as well. My cannons on the low ground have killed they've forced a barracks to lift and nothing else. Dude, the cannons are getting cancelled. Oh, hats off to JMO and Eros. Eros with that early Marine. They managed to shut it down. Very well done. And Florencio's purple pylon is going to be next. By the way, that pylon looks cool as shit, guys. That truly does look like it's corrupted with the power of the sewers, right? This looks like a goddamn chaos, maybe like a Dark Eldar thing, right? I'm not imagining that, yeah? You guys, that's actually insane. So I invested in a bunch of pylons and cannons in a gateway, guys. I achieved forcing a barracks to lift. Uncle Flo's shaking his head disappointedly like, that's it? I'm like, I thought I would do more, man. My zealot's gonna run in though. I'm like, Flo, you told me that rallying other units in and creating more problems is always good because it creates more chaos and fun and more distractions. The zealot gets in the middle like, can he get an SCV? Can he even get one? He can't even get one. Meanwhile, JMO has a cannon and a battery up. Completely solid there. And we are going to have to go back. Now, I am going to go for the corner, the natural expand. I'm going for an alternate natural. I'm actually taking it hidden on my third base, as you can see over here. At this point, though, Uncle Flo is building this one. And I'm like, Uncle Flo, why are you taking your corner base? Oh, look at this. I snuck the zealot in. I snuck the zealot in, guys. He just ran straight past the stalkers. Dude, look at this. Look at this path on this zealot. Look at this path on this zealot. They're distracted by the cannons. They don't know. They don't know about the zealot. They have no idea. Let's go. I may have spent like 1,000 minerals getting this proxy going. I need something. I need something. The zealot finds a way in. He's got 2 kills already. The mineral line getting hammered. The zealot gets in there. The tank's coming back, but he's already taken out 3 SCVs. Can he get any more? The SCV's trying to hide in the pocket like a bunch of cowards. 4 SCVs and a massive mining time. That was juicy. As I do go for that third hidden base. Now, meanwhile, guys, I said, Uncle Flo, like I was saying before, why did you take the corner base? Isn't that a bit risky? But I think it's because I took this wall off down here. He decided to go for it. Also, he's cannoned behind my wall off, which is kind of beautiful, you know? 2 bros just connecting the tips a little bit, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, a couple Stargates coming in here for Flo. And remember, there was too many Chads on the dance floor. So listening to the advice of Uncle Flo in that last game, I've decided you build the Stargate ones, I'll build the Robo ones. Because, I mean, it only makes sense, right? If Florencio truly was doing a 2v... Oh, God, we're getting busted. 2v2 strategy, he wouldn't just have both players build one thing. But, of course, it was Apprentice Day, so I was just going to pick things up any way I could. Now, I'm trying to build a cannon here behind this wall off. I will need another pylon further back to power that. This gateway, though, needs to buy us time. Because right now, guys, we have almost no units. Florencio is going for Stalkers right now. He's gone double Stargate, but he's building Stalkers. I guess they are available a little bit quicker. Who knows, guys? Florencio logic is whatever it is. I'm building an Immortal as well. This counter push from JMO and Eros is actually really scary. They're both expanding behind it. They both have expansions up. There's a 3rd command center coming up. So these guys actually could get quite far ahead on workers, but they're not building workers as quickly. They're only on 1924 against 3128. So they do need this damage to try and equalize this game. First few Stalkers coming down. You can see the cannon got picked off. Had to get rid of that one. I do have a corner base building, but we can't afford to build workers right now. Not at all. Florencio Stalker's trying to buy time. My first Immortal does come down. And it's not that many units. Thankfully, these guys aren't reinforcing. If there was like a 4-gate, I think we might just get overwhelmed and die. But Flo has 2 Void Rays about to come out. The Immortal trying to poke forward here. Florencio's probes trying to back me up. It's a sewer pig. And the Sewer Rencio, the classic, the Sewer Mermaid himself. We are trying to defend. The Sewer Pig, of course, is but an apprentice in this scenario. But Immortal, pretty good against all of these units except the Marines. Gets a few hits on the Stalker, not bad. And it's go time, baby. It's go time. Sewer Pig, Nephew Pig, what are you doing? A bit slow to get in there. Uncle Florencio, of course, doesn't mind. He can take this all out on his own. He's absolutely nailing it. And a nice attempted recall here from the Protoss, but none of those units escape. Good defense for the Immortal Void Ray. Nephew Pig, Uncle Sewer Mermaid Florencio do manage to take this one out. Now, so we've got the Alpha of Chances complete. There's 2 Immortals, and there's now a Warp Prism building as well, which is, of course, going to back those. Actually, is the Warp Prism already out? Oh, there it is. There is already a Warp Prism out on this map. And, of course, we've got this lovely little hidden natural expansion over here, which for some reason they didn't check. Anyways, Siege Tanks and Cyclones building, and the economy for both sides is regrowing right now. You can see the economy is pretty damn even, and that's why we need to do more. We can't just be resting on our laurels. Lots of batteries coming up and cannons for JMO. Eros has a few Cyclones in a tank, is trying to get into the extra barracks and factories, which is interesting. He's going to factory and barracks. Cannon battery in the mineral line, normally a very good defensive structure. They were trying to go Dark Templar, but Nephew Pig comes in, drops the Immortals there. The Alpha of Chads backs him up. I told you, this truly is bring your tadpole to work day. Look at the way he backs me up. He lets me go in first and initiate, but he's always there to catch me if I fall. And that's good parenting, guys. Always there to catch him if they fall, you know. He lets me think I'm out there doing dangerous things realistically. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my Immortal for no reason. He's there to actually save the day and chase off all those units. He gets the Siege Tank as well. The Alpha of Chads. They've been crossing their beams left, right, and center. They've been slapping each other right in the arse cheek. And that's actually beautiful. But the Dark Shrine's going to finish if we're not careful. Now, the Siege Tank's being dealt with We're going to focus it. Void Rays and Immortal both do bonus damage. We do not want to be letting that Dark Shrine get up, but we do. The Dark Shrine finishes. So now we know we're going to have to deal potentially with a whole bunch of that stuff coming in. Luckily, I've got an Observer here as I now go. Well, I guess it was a third base, not a natural. Now I'm expanding to my natural to try and get up to 3 bases. Flo is, of course, just building more Chads behind this. I'm building more Immortals right now. And you can see the Widow Mines here, my Observer. Professional pervert there. Florencio, of course, has always said, if you can get some perverts out, that's always a good thing. But unfortunately, EMP Cyclone combo. The alpha, the original alpha of Chads gets shot down, but the Immortals are here. I want to get rid of that Dark Shrine so badly. Oh, the Immortals do take care of the Dark Shrine. The Void Ray is still trying to fight here with the Stalkers and the Cyclones. The Immortals are going to come forward and do some pretty good damage, but we are focusing on just picking off the tech and the buildings. My Immortals derping out there on that right side. Oh no, Nephew Pig, why did you abandon his Void Rays? They're going to go down. It looks like a Stalker tried to run in the front there for Florencio and just got killed on the ground as well. But look at that, killing a bunch of probes, depowering all of JMO's production. These Immortals are proper bullies right here. One of the Immortals is going to go down if we're not careful. We save it at the very last second, but we drop it on red hit points, and it does get shot down by a Hellion and a Ghost. Those hit scan attacks just hitting way too quickly. The Immortal's still trying to fight here. Another Immortal is going to go down. Sloppy micro there from Nephew Pig, but they are trying to defend the main base. The Chad Raid comes in as well. Flo, he's chilling. He's got 2 more Stargates, 2 more Oracles on the way. The Immortals and the Chad Raids will not leave the base. Remember, this is where any logical decision making would say, go home and spend your money, guys. If this was bloody some tryhard, Showtime's teaching us how to play this game, stats, classic, they'd be like, go spend your money. We're not going to spend our money. Spending your money is for cucks. What the hell, man? Look at, we're going to stay here as long as possible, being as big a bag of dicks as possible. Because remember, what did Uncle Flo teach me on my first day at Florencio Science School for kids who can't macro good? And he said, your goal in a game of StarCraft, what is it? And, people raise their hands, and some of the kids are like, oh, it's to out macro your opponent. Oh, it's to play like Cyril. Oh, sir, I think, so, Mr. Rencio, I think it's to try to macro better than your opponent and build bigger armies and win with superior strategy. And of course, Florencio cackled at that and he said, oh, sweet, innocent tadpoles. You are so innocent and sweet. He said, no. Your goal overall, the big goal that players forget about when they're playing StarCraft, is you want your opponent to experience the game much like getting whacked in the face repeatedly by a bag of dildos. If it doesn't feel like they're getting hit in the face by a bag of or just dicks, then you are failing as a StarCraft player. And I thought that was really eye-opening because it really harks back to what I believe is the true essence after, watching so many hours of Florencio, of his style, right? Like, it's not about anyone's strategy or any one format, right? It's very fluid and flowing because something... Oh! Bait them forward and drop the ball. Oh, they try to come out to punish me. Oh, we got a Ghost there. Did kind of miss the Marines on that one. But we are, as you can see, guys, bag of dicks. In this case, that was more of a bag of, that was more like a tea bag, more of like someone just slapping, getting a bit of a turkey slap on the face. That's, I think, what Eros was experiencing there. I know I've experienced that many times. That's what it feels like when people do that disruptor move. They bait you out with something and then the disruptor shoots you and you chase it. But anyways, yeah, point is bag of dicks, guys. And if you guys have ever played Florencio, you'd be very familiar that it does feel, even when you beat him, like your whole face is just, it feels like someone's been slapping their hot dog fingers on your face. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Disruptor Siege is here. Florencio is still harassing the main. He's going into Oracles now. The missile turret. No! Eros' missile turret not guarding the mineral line. Looks like my Warp Prism did just go down to the Cyclones and Ghosts, though. Really good micro from Eros is actually punishing my Contain. Here come the Void Rays to help out, but JMO's there with the Stalkers. I don't know if I can defend this. Oh my god, JMO with the Blink Stalkers. The Cyclone Hellion now as well. Oh no! Uncle Florencio's Chad Rays are all getting cleaned up. A lot of my balls are wounded. I've been kicked in the nuts repeatedly. You can see 2 of them are in the red and the orange over on that right side. Can we get another shot off over here, though? Can we defend itself? Oh, hell hath no fury like a ball that's been kicked. That's the classic saying. I know some of you guys who watch this channel are inbreds who don't actually know how to do literature. But if you guys are ever wondering, where I come up with these sayings, they are all literal just quotations of famous works of literary fiction and non-fiction, your Dickens, all that sort of stuff. Some of you, I know you're not well read, so I'm trying to slowly educate you guys by teaching you how to play proper StarCraft and exploring. What teabags on unsuspecting ladder opponents looks like. No! Oh my god, I feel bad for them now. Oh gosh, much like when I'm casting just a regular Flo Files, at a certain point, I do start to cast often against Florencio, in this case against Florencio and me, because it's so brutal what we're doing. They're going to blink forward as J-Mo. He's going to depower me, Robos! But they do lose a bunch of Stalkers in the process. The Immortals, of course, the hard counter to the Blink Stalker. J-Mo's in trouble right now. Oh, I love that blink back to the high ground. That's actually really sexy. Dude, these guys are weathering the storm. They're fighting a crazy game, but in comes Balls from behind. Ghost Hellions and Cyclones gets bounced. And I really do feel at this point like I'm starting to come into my own. I'm like, am I doing good, Daddy Florencio? And he's like, yeah, you know, I didn't even tell you to drop those testicles on your opponent's face, but you know what? Definitely fits. Definitely fits. And I felt so proud at this point, you know, the fact that I was earning Florencio's approval, the fact that, you know, he was proud of me, like you know, the sewer father that I never had. You know, it just felt like this was a really momentous moment. Oh my god, Widowmine just blew up a bunch of Void Rays on the right side. These guys are actually building really good defense, especially Eros. Eros is playing really good because we attacked J-Mo so much. J-Mo hasn't had much economy to work with, unfortunately. So Eros has been trying to cover this with Cyclone, Ghost, Widowmine, which is actually sick. This is like a proper rough composition. This is very cool army comp. But J-Mo's, of course, just working with so much less money, only 19 probes now. And they are going to quit out there after getting just overwhelmed for far too long. GG, well played. All right, guys, well, this wouldn't be complete without watching a bit more of the evolution. One final game here to wrap up this Flo Files episode 300 and to see where the journey ended up here between Nephew Pig in the top right, Teal, now playing Terran, trying that out, and of course, Uncle Florencio for Psystorm. Our opponent to the bottom left, we have Squid and Agent Stang. And right from the start, we said, oh, we recognize these names. I think these guys are pretty good, man. Hope they don't know who we are. And I said, oh, we're probably just imagining things, Uncle Florencio. I think we can still fuck him up. I think we should go be dickheads, you know? I know I can't cannon rush, but I can build a forward barracks and we can be annoying, man. Let's go. And that is exactly how we're beginning. We're on Yellow Jacket now. It's cool to be playing on a different map. There is, of course, a big B in the middle, hence the, or wasp, I should say, I guess. Yellow Jacket is a wasp, right? Anyway, whatever it is. Big wasp, big B, whatever it is, in the middle of this map. I do quite like this map. There's also nice little honeycomb patterns as well, which I think is really cool. In comes the scout, though. Agent Stang immediately scouts the forge. These guys are not 2v2 beginners, and they have already full-walled their main. These guys know what's coming. Bloody guys, man. All right, so Florencio's going to have to cannon the low ground, but they're even pulling probes. And that's going to be able to shut this down, at least initially. Wow, Agent Stang all over. Scouts the cannon rush. It walls off with the teammate and shuts down the first probe. My barracks, of course, is almost finished, so we'll be able to go into a Reaper shortly to try and help this out, but already they're doing a fantastic job of cancelling that first pylon, forcing us to transition, something we weren't planning on doing. Florencio floating almost 400 minerals. He's going to go for double gas behind this, but it seems like, oh, the sewer pair. We are finding our match now, of course. I'm going to try to get in and build a bunker was my goal, but I'm realizing, man, I don't think I can get a bunker built anywhere. What's that even going to achieve? They're not even going to let me up the ramp. So we aren't going to be able to do that for now. The Reaper is, of course, on the way. Uncle Florencio going double gas, going for a gateway, and he's going to go down for the corner base yet again, a wild decision. Meanwhile, I'm, of course, heading towards the natural in this top left corner. Because I thought we were following the sewer tactics, Uncle Flo. But Florencio, of course, he's the uncle. He's always playing one step ahead with the mind games. And he does indeed do that a little bit differently now. Unfortunately, my Reaper rallied in the wrong direction, so I re-rallied it. I think it tried to run in that way because of the depot. I just ran past his Reaper, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? I probably should have gone in the base, but I'm running home. I'm chasing that Reaper because I know Flo has nothing at home to defend. Neither do I, since he doesn't have a cyber core. So we are going to try and chase this guy home. My SCV, I think, is going to scout him. No. Oh, the SCV, yep, actually gets scouted by the Reaper, but doesn't see him in return. Reaper's going to go into me main base, and my Reaper's just like, oi, can you get back here, bro? This SCV's going to run into some trouble. My Reaper will do well, though. It's going to catch him, and that's worth it losing an SCV for the enemy Reaper. And now we've got two Reapers up against just one. But look at this, guys. It's 2 racks. It's 2 racks Reaper. Something I don't realize. I'm also apparently not on A move because I move right past. What? Nephew Pig, what are we doing? No! No! Oh my god, I'm going to lose a Reaper. Okay. When you try and throw a grenade. Ooh, okay. Thought about turning around, but we're not going to quite be able to. We've got to be careful, man. My factory's just finished. I got to build a Hellion. Command Center does get up in the corner, though. Transferring a few SCVs to go take the gases there. But our opponents, they're not expanding. They've got 2 gateways. They've got a Robo They've got 2 barracks, a factory, a 3rd barracks, and a command center. These 2 are playing a very contained style, and they're having absolutely none of our shenanigans. They are just diving on forwards and being very intelligent and not letting us get our cheesy BS going. So right now we have 1 Stalker, 1 Zealot, and 1 Hellion, guys. Not a match for what is it? 4 Stalkers, a Zealot, and 2 Reapers. And Florencio's natural. Oh no, Uncle caught in the open right now. He's going to be in trubs, man. And that's an issue. The Sewer Mermaid caught out. Reaper's going to slide into my back door. Luckily, I'm wise to it. Me Hellion's waiting for you. And he says, get the F out of my base, you cheeky little dickheads. A few more probes do go down. Now, we do have a bunker up on the high ground to, of course, control that position. I got some tanks building. Oh, who checks the corner? Agent Stang with some stanky map hacks checks the corner. It's almost like Agent Stang watches both of our streams and realized who we were and that we'd be doing stupid BS. This is the downside of streaming your cheese, guys. You keep doing the same dumb BS, people catch you out. So I've got a whole big commitment. I've just taken 2 gases, dropped mules, bunch of SCVs. They're all going to go down. And that's a real nightmare. Okay, so the Stalkers, the tank, and the Hellion are going to move out. I'm going to siege my tank a little bit far back here. I've got to move down to protect that. The Reaper's going to catch every single SCV on this left, which is just so awkward. And that really hurts, man. Those Reapers doing really well. Stalkers and Zealots can move that side as well. Stang is now going to expand behind this 2-gate robo. Terran expansion for Squid is already up and going. And for the first time, we're on the back foot. And we're going to find out how well do the Sewer Duo adapt under pressure. How do we roll with these punches when the game goes left, the game goes right, the game goes sideways? To be fair, I mean, we were getting Nidus-wormed continually in that first game as well, but that was still a situation where we were 1 step ahead. Having our natural expansions both shut down this early is a little bit awkward. We're going to try and retake this base, but of course, is it worth reinvesting in a corner that is indefensible? It's a big question. Not quite sure. I'm going to be building siege tanks here, trying to just anchor my army, build up my command centers, get a 3rd command center, and try to recover that way. Now, Flo has gone for a robo. He's got 2 Immortals right now and 5 Stalkers. We're going to move down. We're going to see what happens. Now, I've got to pull back over here. We've run into a big army. Flo, a little bit slow to pull back. My Cyclone runs away a little bit fast. And we are going to see the Immortal trying to kite those Stalkers nicely, but we are very outnumbered. Reaper's going to run inside the main base, see exactly what's going down, try and scout, have these guys expanded, because at this point, we didn't know if there was still 1 base or not. And we do see, okay, these guys have actually expanded. They've got a lot of workers. We really have to be careful now with what happens next. Combat shields on the way. Blink coming in also. The Stalkers of Stang with those 2 tanks of Squid hanging out over there. That Reaper will get cleared up without really doing much. And there is, of course, 3 barracks Marine tanks. We've got medevacs building as well. So a pretty good setup for Squid. Has had to do a few rich supply drops. But overall, you can see supply-wise, I'm hanging at 48 supply after losing my corner base. I saw their army heading in this direction, but then it looked like they didn't. So I lifted off, ran my SCVs away. Now I'm sending it back to the corner. And these guys are a little bit distracted. We've got a few siege tanks and a Cyclone. I'm still rallying 2 tanks while I'm floating this command center out. My economy's in the dumpster right now. Flo's got 3 Immortals and 6 Stalkers, though. We're going to catch a bunch of these units in the middle of the map, which is really nice. My tanks are going to siege up, but of course, that's a bit of a standoff. We do get a few good tank shots there. Not quite. Oh, we are in range. But, oh, okay, very nice. We do get some really good tank shots there. That's absolutely delicious. Florencio rotates south. Really well done there. Our opponents do have stim and shield, and they are going to split a double drop up to the top left side as we are kind of slowed down in the middle. But look at this, denying the 3rd. Absolutely vital right now as I'm only just getting my natural up. Flo, of course, doesn't really have a transition either. He's just making Immortals and Stalkers out of gateways, not even out of warp gates, because warp gate is for cucks and tryhards, and Florencio is neither of those. Florencio trying to carry his nephew, despite his nephew being an absolute baboon. I do go for the Cyclone lock from the low ground. Is it enough to take out that tank? Is it? Oh, not quite. But that Immortal for Florencio will, of course, make up for it. He will eventually kill that siege tank. We are pushing forward, getting a few more of these units as well. A lovely push, but unfortunately, the corner base of Nephew Pig does get taken down. Liberated there, zoning really well. Florencio gets inside the natural. I've got a good tank. Excuse me. I've got a good tank position. Is it enough? It very well may be. Coming in right now. Let's go for the finish. The tanks are going to take out Squid's tank. We're going to siege a few tanks in the back. These ones in the front just fighting as best they can. They do take a fair bit of friendly fire. Tons of probes going down. An absolute nasty mess of a game. The Marines with stim coming forward, though. Those Marines with stim coming forward. Are we going to be able to clean this up? Yes, we are. We're taking out this position. We're ruining Stang's natural, ruining Squid's expansion. What a fantastic push here from the sewer duo. And this is where I looked like we were just completely dead in the water this game. But Florencio with those Immortals, dude, 9 kills on one, 4 on the other. These siege tanks with 13, 11 kills, looking pretty great. But they're going to go for a drippy droppy. They're going to go and unload on top of our face. The siege tanks will get taken down really quickly. Stang, of course, blinking forward at the same time. I do get a few siege tank shots off. Florencio trying to hold the line, but he is a bit outnumbered here with just 5 Stalkers and 1 Immortal left. The Medevac's doing amazing healing. Does need to get rid of this, and indeed the medevac does go down. But look, with the extra siege tank, Florencio, he's not going to be able to break that extra siege tank. And the bio, they can chase you. So this is a really scary spot. I've got a few Cyclones coming in, but I think they're a little bit too late to the party. And they are going to double lock onto the Immortal and try to take care of that. But is that really enough? This Observer is revealed, of course, by the way, as well. These Cyclones going to keep trying to do what they can along with the Stalkers. They will catch the medevac on that right side, but they are very damaged. As I said, that Observer is incredibly damaged as well. So we are able to keep them in their base, but we've taken big damage. And I don't think we've been spending our money at the same time. But what a brawl this game has turned into. Our opponents staying one base, shutting down the counter rush, fighting the corner bases. And this is the first game where we found people who didn't let us get any momentum early, shut down our corner. And it wasn't just like, it was an entirely new situation where only now am I taking my third. Florencio's natural, not even saturated. He hasn't transferred from his main. If we'd macroed behind that, I have confidence we'd be miles ahead. The problem, Squid's economy didn't take damage. Squid has 3 bases, 51 workers, while Stang's down to 28. So we ruined Stang, right? But we're only on 44 and 42. So we're slightly ahead, right? We're at 86, whereas they're at, what is that? 70. Are they on 86 as well, guys? I think we're on almost exactly, I think that we're maybe 2 workers ahead. I think they're on about 83, 84 workers. So very close in the workers. Now, Florencio is going to go for disruptors. Great idea. I got some Cyclones coming forward, which could be really nice with the mag field. But of course, that means I don't have many siege tanks. Only 3 siege tanks. These bases are quite spread as well. So it's going to be really hard to defend. We've got a lot of stim bio coming forward. Also, medevac in the top left, catching us out of position. These guys are going to scan. Where are they scanning, guys? They see my Cyclones on that left side. The Cyclones are going to move down to make sure we aren't getting flanked. And they are getting flanked, so the Stalker's coming forward. We're going to get some nice lock-ons there. Good lock-ons. He does get rid of that Cyclone, but he loses a bunch of Stalkers for it. So Stang is at least punished, but he gets rid of some of my maneuverable firepower. And we are going to see a bit of a crazy engage there. I don't think a choice we can actually take to chase into all that bio and the sieged tanks. But look at that, drop comes in behind us. That's a real problem. Luckily, we have a siege tank and a cannon there. But quick pickup for Squid does save 4 of the Marines, and he can go into that main base and cause trouble there as well, or go straight back on the natural if he's crazy enough to do it. Oh, he's trying to sacrifice the Marines in the mineral line, trying to use friendly fire. But the Cyclones will shut that drop down. Okay, we need to get back to the front right now because they're pushing in yet again. The tank's getting some really good shots off, though. Stang takes some big damage, and the Stalkers go down. This game's turning into a hot mess, this is. I've got 3 tanks on the way, as well as +1 vehicle weapons and a 4th command center. Squid looks like he may have to give up this position. Stang has not taken a 3rd, so Stang has got 2 Dark Templar and not much else, but a Dark Templar is getting in the main, and we don't have any detection. That's a real problem, guys. I don't really have many scans saved up right now. Nice disruptor ambush, Florencio. Uncle Sewer Mermaid drops Trow and unloads his balls on those siege tanks. But the Dark Templar in the main is the real problem. That's a huge problem right now. He could build observers, but he's going to have to deal with it. I've just used scans on the front because I thought I'm so focused on that, which means I've just used my scans. I didn't even realize there was Dark Templar. Now I'm building turrets. The Cyclone tank trying to intercept the rally point. The rally kind of naturally comes in from a bit of an angle. Those siege tanks are doing really, really well, but we're losing SCVs at the same time. Even though those tanks are doing nicely, there's a Zealot on top of them inside their minimum firing range. The turret will finally finish inside this main base, but a Doom Drop comes in straight past my turret ring. The balls do unload, and they do damage the tanks, but this army's stuck. Flo needs to move forward. Uncle Flo, move forward. He does move forward, focuses the tank, focuses the bio down. A crazy Doom Drop, and it is going to get punished because we do have that triple turret ring. But somehow all of the medevacs survive except one. I do not know how. Unit count, we are at about 90 workers. They are now at about 105. So they've actually gotten ahead in the workers from this. And this Dark Templar keeping us busy, putting us on the defensive. The secret to Stang and Squid's counterattack aggression here. And during this, Stang is getting a 3rd up. I mean, Stang's been trailing. Stang needs a 4th as well to really recover. But Squid has a huge army, +1 weapons only, which is not a good set of upgrades. Unless, oh wait, 2-1 and vehicle weapons is on the way. Florencio doesn't believe in upgrades. I think I've only got +1. Yeah, I've just started +2 vehicle weapons. So we're kind of getting wrecked in that regard. Flo's 3rd base is taking a lot of damage right now. Dark Templar running around. This game started a little bit slower. due to them shutting us down. But look at that. Dark Templar goes down to the turret, thankfully. I probably should have built a turret up here. But they've gone around the top left. I'm so focused on holding the middle. And Flo's left that top left open. Unfortunately, both of us are just stuck in our corner. He had to save my main base earlier, which is why he wasn't in position for that. My Cyclones are going to chase these Zealots, but I can't give up the middle because there's Zealots and DTs threatening. I have to let Flo handle this on his own. He goes for the big ball. Gets a good one, but Squid does dodge at the last second. The Stalkers move forward. That Disruptor, oh no, Florencio misses his ball. A ball does go out and hit a single Marauder there. He is going to try to take care of these units, but he never clicked on the lib. Now he clicks on it. Is it a bit too late? Florencio's army not quite getting it done. Oh no. Here we go. Zealot DT's hitting me on the front as well. The Widowmine Hellion tank trying to hold. This is why I couldn't abandon the front. I've only sent a few Cyclones and tanks to help, and I will eventually clean this up, but not before we've lost a whole base and Florencio's whole army. We are both in the dumps right now. Now Florencio has been covering for me for the last 8 minutes in this game. He says, nephew, I'm going to need a few minutes to recover. I hope you can hold on in that time. I'm quaking though, because I know that not only is there a decent tank count from Squid, Squid also has upgrades and bio and who knows how many bases. Of course, we can see here it's a 4th base going up in the bottom right. 7 bases for them right now. We are on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases with Florencio going for the double expand. I think I shared maybe a few minerals with him as well, just to help Uncle Flo get that one back. We're in a bit of a brawl right now, guys. It's not so much a classic Sewer Mermaid battle as it is. We have to do a desperate counter push. We know we took big economic damage. We're going to set up a sick push here, but look at this. Squid rotates around the right side. We catch the rally. Really nice catch on the rally. A bunch of Immortals getting hammered here. We do get a really good push, but oh, that flank with the bio and the Zealots from the south. I step into a surround. Flo didn't have any army to help with. It wasn't that I didn't wait for him. It's just, you know, we both lost all of our units. That was a beautiful surround. If they panicked and just engaged straight away, we might have been able to do it. I thought with the Widowmines, the aliens, the tanks, maybe. But a desperate counter push gets shut down. And now we are on our last legs. 2 sewer creatures slowly just oozing and sliding our way along that slippery surface of the feces-encrusted corridor that we call home. Slowly coming to the realization that we may have to type out. We may have to tap out the GG very soon in this game. Agent Stang and Squid doing a fantastic job of weathering the storm, shutting down our aggression. And the Immortal Bio is going to come through. We just don't have enough, man. Sewer Mermaid Florencio with a big fat grin on his face. Win or lose, as always. You know, this is where he looks over and he says, nephew, why are you mad? I said, because we freaking lost. We could have won if we did this differently or this differently. And he said, it's not about winning, it's about torturing your opponent. And those guys are pretty friggin' stressed at the end of this game. And I said, that's some true wisdom. I tap out the GG, well played. Florencio just a moment later as well. And I think I learned something about life, about reality, and about StarCraft today. And that is, if you're happy to exist in the sewers, sometimes you could lower your expectations, just have a bit of fun slithering around and shit. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed those games. I'm going to be playing more 2v2s with Flo in the future, so if you guys have any cool combo strats, Fungal Storm, or just any cool like combo for 2v2 that you would love to see, who knows, we might cast some more of those in future Flo Files and get some more Flo Files episodes going. I'm really looking forward to it because I just had a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I played 2s, and playing with Flo is such a different flavor. He's got such a unique perspective on the game, and I am enjoying studying from the master. Of course, if you guys want to support the Patreon, big thank you to everyone who does so. Here's the list of everyone in the Wall of Bacon right now. Big thanks to Peden and Dragosar on the D-Town Express tier. Links below in the description. Get yourself some cool perks and stuff. Actually, I think there's also a button like here, right? Click the button. See you guys next time. I love you all. Click the Patreon button. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye and good night.